in today's trading session in terms of stocks.
Absolutely. So Apollo Hospitals, right? I mean, it's the first stock on our radar. I think the stock is up, what? It's just about 10% away from its 52-week high. Now, there's so much happening here. And I think the eventual goal that the street has with Apollo Hospitals is when that deal will take place and when the financial investor will come through. But you tell me, Ekta, why are you watching the stock today?
Well, Sonia, in the past 2 weeks, I think I've joined Surbi on who moved the markets, talking about pharmaceuticals and healthcare. And one of the key things that I pointed out is that every time there is any kind of rise in COVID-19 cases, there's some amount of buzz and interest which takes place in a lot of these pharmaceutical and healthcare stocks. But I think the market is now understanding that the severity of COVID-19 is not as much as before. But nonetheless, in terms of Apollo Hospitals, what we are watching today is that the stock is just about 10% away from its 52-week high. It's trading at around 22 to 23 times FY24 EV to EBITDA. It is one of the more expensive hospital stocks within the entire sector. Now, the reason for the up move, a couple of them could be the fact that there is that Manipal Temasek deal which is done, which took place just a couple of days ago, and that took place at around 10 times FY22 sales. Remember, it is the second largest hospital player after Apollo Hospitals. So the street is now hoping and bracing for the fact that there could be an up move in terms of valuations because of that particular deal. Apollo Hospitals is trading currently at around 4 to 5 times FY22 sales. So there's a huge gap in terms of the valuations. Now, in terms of Q4 earnings, that is something that the street is watching quite closely. There is an expectation that they could surprise on the upside versus estimates of a flattish quarter. Generally, this quarter could have been impacted by factors such as holidays in January, etc. But the occupancy is expected to be at around 64% versus 65% on a Q-on-Q basis, with the expectation that it could surprise on the upside. Now, in terms of COVID-19, like I mentioned, India reported over 10,000 new COVID-19 cases. As of now, no hospitalizations due to the severity of the cases. So that's definitely a positive. Triggers, margin improvement fell to 11.9% in Q3. EBITDA was dragged down by what was the highest ever quarterly investments in Apollo 24/7. Apollo Healthco Digital Health and Pharmacy, which is basically the digital health and pharmacy business, reported a net loss of around 63 crores in the previous quarter. So any kind of improvement in those metrics, as well as fundraising, they said they are capitalized for 6 months, and within 6 months they should get an investor for Apollo 24/7. Where do things stand? That is something that the street would watch out for. Lastly, there is buzz of a Mumbai-based privately held diagnostic company on the block. So there is hopes that there could be a deal in the offing on that one as well.
Okay, in fact,